Happy Saturday, guys. Charlie Wall here, coming at you with your question of the week. Although it's not really a question this week. It's something that's come up in my She Connects Circle community, and I'm halfway through a training day today, Holistic Healer Training Day, and this question came in, or kind of like a, what can I say, an inquiry came into the circle group from one of my circle ladies, and I just wanted to speak to this because I thought it might be quite interesting for everybody. Plus, given that I'm doing day 4 today of my holistic healer training, is called Engaging with Illness from Wholeness, I thought it was fairly relevant and just wanted to speak to this. So essentially, and I'm not going to name the lady, but she was kind of saying that she was feeling stuck, and she'd met a friend yesterday who had kind of said to her that, where is it? That a friend had told her yesterday that everyone finds her really tiresome because she always loses enthusiasm for things. And another thing she said a bit later on when I was kind of going through with her is that a friend, I'm not sure if it was the same friend, said that she was lazy, and she was saying, she's right, I am lazy. And what I wanted to speak to about this in particular was, when we get stuck in a label of who we think we are, we start to think about that label, and we start to identify with that label of who we are. So I could have said to you, kind of prior to coming across this understanding that I teach from, which is called the 3 Principles, I would have said to you that I was anxious, that I had PTSD, that I was shy, that I couldn't teach in groups. There's no way I would have said that I would have been able to do these live videos. I had kind of categorized myself and lived from a place of putting myself into a box and telling you and everyone else who I thought I was. And the way I talk about this in my Finding Freedom program is that if you imagine you're an iceberg, and if we have a look at an iceberg and we see the tip of the iceberg is it's a metaphor, like what we identify with, i.e. this is my name, this is my age, this is my culture, this is my religion, these are my values, these are my beliefs, this is my job, etc. That's like the tip of the iceberg. But if we look at that iceberg, 10% of that iceberg is what's visible to us and everyone else around us, and 90% is hidden under the water. It's invisible. It's invisible to us who are looking, and it's invisible to those of us that know us. So a lot of people would have said to me personally, you're a control freak, you're bossy, you know, like whatever they would have thought would have been kind of fixed in their mind. And so if this wonderful lady in my circle community, if it hooks into her belief of, usually it's some sort of form of I'm not good enough, but if someone said to her, like, we're all getting annoyed because you never seem to, you know, I mean, firstly, I wouldn't take anything seriously like that when it's kind of coming into a fixed, this is what we all think of you, and we're getting annoyed with you because you're like this. There doesn't feel like there's, and it's a very strange thing for a friend to say. So obviously I'm not judging the friend. I don't know what context it was said in. But what I can see from the post in my circle is that the lady in question is taking it very personally, and she's making it mean something about her. And there's her evidence that she's not good enough. And I think the thing to really take on board here, particularly the I'm lazy thing, which I hear a lot from the women that I work with, is someone said I'm lazy, and I am lazy, and this is all I do. And when I think I'm lazy, there's no hope there, there's no potential there, there's no possibility there, there's no room for growth, there's is no room for being something different and seeing the 90% that's invisible about you, seeing the potential about you, and seeing that we are living, responsive, movable human beings that are changeable every moment of every day. Like, nothing is fixed. You know, you aren't stuck by a definition. And when we feel stuck in our thinking, if we feel stuck in our mind, in our career, in our habits, in our thinking, it's usually because we're replaying the same stale, shitty committee over and over again and believing it. And that's just not true. It's just not who you are. You know, like, you're not the same person today as you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Don't know how old you are, those of you that are watching this, but you're not the same person. You may feel stuck, but you're not the same. And when we get fixated on the tip of the iceberg, on the categorization of who we think we are, that doesn't feel particularly hopeful for me. And of course, that's kind of the energy that I'm getting in the thread that's happening in the circle group, is that there's no hope for me because even my friends think I'm lazy, and I am. But that's just not true, because you may be, and I think the word lazy has kind of really unhelpful images and connotations anyway, but you might be resting in this moment. You might be allowing and receiving rest because that's what your body's intuiting for you. So one person might say, yeah, I'm resting in this moment, but I might not be resting tomorrow. Like, who knows what tomorrow brings? None of us know what is coming. But if I call myself lazy and then hide under the duvet and hide from the world and think I'm a crap person and think I'm a shit, not good enough, the shitty committee, then that feels uncomfortable. That's your body's brilliant way of alerting you to the fact that you're paying attention to thinking which just isn't true. It doesn't serve you, because nothing is fixed in this world. You are not fixed by categorization. You're not fixed by labels, whether they're physical health labels or mental health labels. Nothing about you is fixed. Everything is moving. Everything is flowing. And from that place can spark possibility. From that place can spark a different scenario. Maybe you are tired. Maybe you are needing of rest. But that's not to say that that's going to be the same for every moment of every day moving forwards. That's just not the truth. The truth, capital T truth, is that we're all changing, we're all moving, our psychology is always moving through, our thoughts are always moving through, our beliefs are always moving through, our feelings are always moving through. Like, this is all happening every moment of every day, even on a cellular level in our bodies. Everything is changing every moment of every day. So nothing about you is fixed ever. And don't believe that what other people can see about you, because it's never going to be true. You weren't born lazy. None of us were born anxious. None of us were born addicts. None of us were born with any of the labels that we've attached to innocently. None of us were. So that's not who you are. It's never going to be who you are unless you believe it, and then you think that's true, and then you experience that as your reality. But I'm here to tell you that that's not the truth of who you are, and that isn't. You don't have to be defined by other people's labels about you. You don't have to. You never have to. So this was a quick one today because I've just got my lunch break from my training, and I didn't get a chance to do the question of the week yesterday. So thank you for watching if you did. If you want to come into my circle where we explore this deeper, it's a little beautiful, wonderful group of women who are very supportive, and I do lots of group stuff in there. So if you're interested in that, I'll post the link in the comments, and I've also got a free Facebook group. So have a wonderful, wonderful weekend wherever you are, wherever you're watching this, and remember that you are enough, always, and you don't have to define yourself by labels, and certainly you don't have to define yourself by what other people think about you. All right, ciao.